flag you see at the top of Mount Kilimanjaro is not wrong, except it is the 1993 to 1990. This elderly man, Dr. Naisi, conquered Kilimanjaro, Africa's longest mountain or highest mountain, but you'd see those designs. So pay attention to that. It's part of our identity. Here was a shout for our mothers. That mom has a nice design, but it is saying Eritrean mom, the best teacher, nurse, cheerleader, and friend, all in one. And they done. Do you agree with your mothers? This is a nice description. So nice mug, but I have to make sure that mug has the right word, the right flag. It is part of our identity. Then, as Eritreans, I want someone who knows how to speak read Tigrinya. Any one of you? Anyone? Come on. You haven't gone to the language school, or you are afraid? I want someone to read this for me. Rahel, where are you? Then I want to ask some of those in the audience to help us read. Go ahead. What do you think it says? There is a hint. Gadal, what? You fight, you win, good. You work hard, you win. That's basically a Tigrinya saying. Gadal, whosoever works hard, eventually will what? Succeed. And as Eritreans, part of our identity, of course, I'm in America, Americans might be listening to me, but we defeated both America and Russia. Can you believe that? They were supporting Ethiopia that was occupying us. We defeated both of them single-handedly. So, will mathematics defeat an Eritrean? No. Will chemistry defeat an Eritrean? No. Will history, biology? No. Because our motto is what? Zgadal, Gadal, Ta'awad. So, this iconic picture that you see of fighters, deep inside it is this spirit, indomitable spirit of Eritreanity. So let's pay attention to that. And on top of that, we have what we call Eritrean values. Kibrutat Ertrawunet. We don't want to be arrogant. We don't consider ourselves unique in such, but as gold through fire gets purified and comes out to be really much better because all the impurities are gone. Struggling for 30 years had changed us. And this values, I don't know, for those of you at the back, if someone could read it for them so that those of you in the front. I have listed some of a dozen characteristics that are not necessarily uniquely Eritrean, but we consider them, we have adopted them to be part of us. Who could read for me? You guys better read it better than me. I don't speak English. You could see I'm already breaking it. So who could read for me? All 6 properties here. Go ahead.
Patriotism, self-reliance, commitment, resilience, independence, and harmony.
Okay. So for this, except maybe that patriotism, you could apply it to everyday life. A student has to be committed. If a student is not committed for her studies, for his study, success is far away. Right? Independent learner. Have you heard of that word? So independence. Just as a country, as people, we believe in independent path. We believe in self-reliance. We believe in national harmony and all those characteristics. So we want you to be resilient particularly. Resilience means what? What's the meaning resilience? A synonym. To never what? Give up. Never give up. No matter what, Eritreans, we were resilient. Come May, we said we are not going to give in, and we succeeded. So this resilience is part of our DNA, and it's no exaggeration. Let it be part of your identity. An exam in biology might defeat you today. Tomorrow, make sure that you learn from this mistake, you get your A. Not A only in grade, but A in knowledge. That's what resilience is. Self-reliance means that if you are always going to depend on a friend or a teacher, it's not taking you far. But can you study on your own? Can you close your book and solve that algebra problem? Can you close your book and explain the physics to even a person who doesn't understand physics? Because that's what knowledge is. So all this Eritrean biology, by the way, I'll give this PowerPoints to the board and then they could share it with you. But I want help here. Who could read for me this quotation? Two of them. You guys are an awfully shy people. If I read them, I would not do justice the English. So go ahead.
It's always good to remember where you come from and celebrate it. Remember where you come from is part of where you're going. If you don't know where you come from, you don't know who you are.
So that's basically why we are talking about Eritreanity. If we know where we came from, if we know who we are, it will be easy to know where we'll be going. Majority of us here pass through a lot of hardship. When I remember grade 8, grade 9, every step of that way, war and running away from the towns to the countryside comes to my mind, because when we were growing, Eritrea didn't have peace. So remember where you came from. It will help you know where you are going. So many of these quotations, I'm going to, for the sake of time, to speed things up, but it says what? Don't be confused between what people say you are and who you know you are. So know yourself. Do not get distracted by, okay, I'm a black African. I have a heavy accent. How my colleagues at VCU would think about my English is none of my business. As long as I do my mathematics right, I know what I am doing, I wouldn't care. To know yourself is much better than to worry about what people would think about you. Of course, if you are doing bad, you better think. But do the right thing. Do not worry about what people feel about you. Let them follow me later on. But do not worry. Oh, I took this picture. How would people think about it? Why would I worry? Deep inside, I'm beautiful. Deep inside, I'm strong. Deep inside, I'm clever. As a grade 8, as a grade 9, grade 10. Don't worry about the rest. To please yourself is okay. But do not live to please your peers. Because what if they are all jumping off the cliff? Are you going to follow them? So, we need to know ourselves. And here's another quotation. It says what? Make sure you don't see yourself through the eyes of those who do not value you. Know your words, even if they don't. We know as African Americans. We know particularly as Africans, fresh out of the boat, as they say. We have names that are not Washington, that are not Jefferson, they are not Simmons, they are not Jackson. And when people look at us, they do not value us. But should we see ourselves from their lens or our own lens? Am I talking too much? Sorry, guys. I need now help. I'm getting a little bit tired of reading. I want someone to help me read. Can you read it for me? Go ahead.
Trust your gut. You know yourself, so don't let someone else tell you who you are.
How many of you believe in this? So we should live. High school particularly is a very dangerous sort of section of life. That's where we mature, and we are so worried about this, and we should never allow people to define us. If you keep this promise to yourself, I am going to be myself, I'm not going to allow anyone to define me, you have won half of the battle. You like to study, your friends are going to joke or mock you as nerd, so be it. You will be flying to Mars while they are still wallowing on the earth. You will be a doctor while they come as patients to you. You will be a lawyer while they come as defendants. So do not allow others to define who you are. Just trust your own gut. And by the way, we have plenty of role models as Eritreans. We need to be proud of them. Here are 5 young students. This is from 2018 picture I took from Hadas, Eritrea. Here are Eritrean students in Eritrea with limited resources building. You see that drone?
Oh, wow.
What makes you as an American not to aim for this kind of technology? Instead of carrying this cell phone, why don't I dream of making it myself? Instead of playing video games, why don't I challenge myself to write that video game? Had it occurred to you? Instead of spending what? Hours and hours in front of a video game, paying money to someone, why don't I write it myself? If someone else had written it, I have the ability to write it. So if you like computers, spend time with programming them so that tomorrow AI would not come and be the human being and I the slave of a machine. We need to know where the world is going. So if we are not in control of our own future starting today, tomorrow, not human beings, but machines could rule us. So, and here are the 2 Eritrean young students on the left side that basically wrote a code, an app to control that dozer. Even here within the US, we have role models. The young lady you see on the top right corner is now in charge of Pfizer's medical COVID vaccination. She was a professor at Stanford when they were developing vaccination for COVID. She was chosen to lead it. The guy you see in the middle, some of you might have seen him give a talk. He was a farmer's kid. He's now part of the Orion project that are sending rovers to Mars. He works for Lockheed Martin. He's an engineer in Denver, Colorado. If he succeeded with heavy accent like mine, you guys are in much better position to even soar higher. So do not aim only for the ceiling. Aim high to the moon, to Mars, and you could achieve it. There's nothing that's going to prevent you. But convince yourself that you could do it. Do not let anyone define you. Oh, in athletics, we have plenty of champions. You know this, guys. You guys are soccer players. You know the person on the left side? What's his name? Isaac is his father. His name is Alexander. Alexander Isaac. He plays for the Swedish national team. But I like the one at the bottom. He went back home to his roots and his picture with his own cousins. So do not shy away from going to Eritrea. If finance allows, if your parents have the time, go visit Eritrea. Who is the guy in the middle? You might not know him. He's a world champion marathon, Girmay Gebrselassie. The one at the bottom middle is Sanai Tadese. half marathon world champion. Of course, the one on the right at the top is Mabrahatam Kfilizgi. He's a marathon winner. What do you see? 2 flags. He is an Eritrean American, so he had the Eritrean flag as well. This is after he won the New York Marathon. And the guy at the bottom, remember him? You don't watch cycling apparently, right? Binyam Girmay. This was his silver medal where he won second place in the UCI or World Cycling Championship, but he conquered a stage in Italian Giro d'Italia and other things. He's a very rising star. The Europeans tremble when Binyam starts pedaling. But remember, this guy didn't achieve this stage without what? Working. The garden, what did we say? Yeah, what? Who likes this food? Can someone tell me what the name of this food is? God? Do you like it?
Yes.
Of course, this mixture is very deadly for me. As an old man, there is ga'at, there is butter, there is yogurt there, and then there is sugar in the form of what? This juice. But ga'at, oh my God. Isn't that great? You go to Kenya, you eat ugali. You come to Eritrea, you eat ga'at. The reason I brought this thing is that I'm going to teach you 5 words that rhyme with ga'at. Okay? If you remember ga'at, at least you know the 2 last words. One is manfa'at. You have heard the word nufut, right? Nufut means what?
Good.
Good. Right? So manfa'at. Second one is sa'at. This one is a little bit hard, even for your parents. Sa'at. We'll translate it, no problem. The third one is sinasra'at. I'm certain you have heard of it. What does sinasra'at mean? Behave, right? Sinasra'at. And then there is san'at. And then what Zakir is here, there was a song, my favorite song, San'atna. Right? And then the last one is Tib'at. Loosely, if we translate them in Tigrinya, manfa'at is ingenuity. Sa'at, literally it means energy in modern Tigrinya. But mis'at means to work hard, to be diligent. So second one is diligence. The third one, sanasra'at, means discipline. The fourth one is tenacity. If you are san'at is tenacity, tenacious. And the last one is courage. So ingenuity, diligence, discipline, tenacity, and courage. Out of the many ingredients for success, I chose these 5 ones. If a person is ingenious, diligent, disciplined, tenacious, and courageous, the sky is the limit. So, if you remember the Tigrinya words, next time you eat ga'at, manfa'at, sa'at, sinasra'at, san'at, tib'at. I will quiz Sassan. She's repeating them after me, so I'll see if she passes later on. Okay? What's ingenuity? Let's get quotations from the web. It's a free word, so we give credit to who it is. Bob Richards is the person who says ingenuity plus courage plus work equals what? Miracles. There are no miracles. It is what? Ingenuity, hard work, and courage that makes miracles. I believe in miracles, but in some other ways. But to be successful in life, in your classes, in your schools, in college, in high school, it's ingenuity, courage, plus what? hard work. I had a poster when I was in graduate school. A Colombian roommate of mine put it there. A cat is sleeping. It says, hard work never killed anyone, but I'm not taking any chance, and the cat is deep asleep. So if hard work doesn't kill anyone, work hard. That way you would succeed. So diligence is the mother of good fortune. And idleness, which is the opposite of what? Diligence, never brought a man the goal of any of his best wishes. Miguel de Cervantes, I could talk much about him, but let's go on. Who could read for me? Help me, please. Someone who could read it? Yes.
Diligence is the mother of good fortune, and idleness is the opposite. Never brought a man to the goal of any of his best wishes. From Miguel de Cervantes. Learning is not obtained by chance, it must be sought for with ardor and diligence.
So learning is not attained by chance, but it has to be what? Sought for with ardor and diligence. So be diligent. That's the same. Very short quotation. Everything yields to what? This. When you say I yield, means I defer. So there is nothing higher than diligent. So those who are diligent would achieve miracles, is what we have read. Sorry. And I need to read someone discipline. Can you, in yellow, can you read it for me? Go ahead. Excellent, thank you. So here is a goal and here is achievement. To go from your goals to achieving them, you have to have what? Discipline. If we don't have discipline, we'll be disappointed and we might regret it. So it's much better to have discipline as part of art, and we're getting near. And then this is one half of life is luck. The other half is what? Discipline. And that is the important half. For without discipline, you wouldn't know what to do with luck. There is no magic wand that can resolve our problems. The solution rests with our work and discipline. So this we said already. And then let's go to tenacity. The quality of being determined to do or achieve something. The firmness of purpose is what we say tenacity. Someone is tenacious, means someone is determined, would never give up. If they fall, they stand up. They tried once. I don't play basketball, I haven't tried it. But how many times have you seen people shooting a ball to get it through that ring? I don't know what the ring is called. If you give me the ball today, probably I need to practice 10,000 times before I make it through that ring. So do basketball players give up? How many balls do they throw? The same thing. Why should you close your mathematics book saying this is a tough problem? Don't run away from it. Be tenacious. So tenacity, this you could look at it. And here is Louis Pasteur, a French chemist and very well-known person in biology and other things, have this to say. Let me tell you the secret that has led me to my goals, that have led me to my strength, lies solely in what? In my tenacity. So it is not that every one of us would succeed at the first try. But trying it again, never giving up, being tenacious is what gives you the strength to move on. And finally, what did we say? Courage. One necessarily isn't born with what? With courage, but one is born with potential. Courage is the most important of all virtues, says Maya Angelou, a very famous African American poet. So we are not born with courage, but we have the potential to be what? Courageous. And of all the virtues, to be courageous enough to face problems, to clear it and jump over them and move on to our goals is what courage is. So success is never final. Failure is never fatal. It is courage what? That counts. Optimism is the phase that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence. So to be confident, to believe in ourselves. Remember we started, we are Eritreans. As Eritreans, we are lucky to have a population, a history of courage, a history of tenacity, a history of resilience. Therefore, if we remember who are, to have confidence in ourselves, the rest is easy. This is my favorite quotation. One of the professors at the place where I teach at BCU has it in his door. And it's a good reminder. The only place where you will find success ahead of work is where? In the dictionary. In short, what does it say? You don't work, you will not succeed. Don't try it. But to succeed, you have to work. To work. The feeling of accomplishment is really great when you work and you achieve it. For example, it's very easy to go to work. To fast food restaurant, get some garbage into your mouth and then get poisoned, right? But if you get the time, the recipe, cook it for yourself, A, you will be healthy. Secondly, you are eating your own what? Your own labor. So success comes from work, and do not get shy from work. Someone told me to talk about mathematics. I don't want to bore you, but for the 8th graders, 9th graders, this is where you put your foundation. If you look at this pyramid, it is widest where? At the bottom. If you want to go high in engineering, in mathematics, in physics, you name it, algebra 1, geometry, algebra 2, this needs to be really solid concrete. I could talk for days on this. In fact, I told Jonas, don't get me started on mathematics because you will drag me from the stage. So as a mathematician, I could talk a lot. But shortly, I will tell you why we should study math, why we should study physics, why we should be serious about history. It applies. As a mathematician, I'm selling mathematics because that's my lab. I have to profess. I am a professor. So what do I profess my love for mathematics. I tell my students, I joke, I'm in love with 3 E's. Can you guess 2 of them? One is Eritrea. The second is E, the base of the natural logarithm E. It's my favorite constant. Pi is good, but E is better. Then, of course, my wife's name also starts with E. So I'm in love with this 3 E's. But, believe me, and I'm not exaggerating, this world of us today, from this building where we are sitting, to this microphone, to this computer, everything is governed by mathematics. We want part of it to be part of this changing world. We better brace, buckle up, do mathematics. Then every door would open for you. You want to be a lawyer after studying mathematics? I don't think you would have a challenge. You want to be an engineer? The best engineers are the top mathematicians. So do not let anyone scare you out of taking mathematics in middle school, in high school, in college, because the refrain I hear is mathematics is not for me. Mathematics is too tough. Who said so? I am an Eritrean. So I'm going to work hard, conquer that math, conquer that physics, conquer that English literature and be who I want to be. So if I talk about mathematics